was the perfect time for the WNBA to also be posting about this. And they said nothing. And it just goes to show that all of us who have been speaking out about this and saying, like, it doesn't seem like you guys are giving Caitlin, the kind of props that she deserves for bringing all these eyeballs and, the Caitlin Clark effect that we talk about, viewership, money, all of those things. All of the people who were shouting this for the entire WNBA season, this is an instance where we are proved correct.
WNBA sponsors abandoning the league for Caitlin Clark. Those are not just dramatic words in a title. That is the actual nightmare scenario now being whispered inside Adam Silver's office, as brands quietly shift money away from the WNBA and directly toward Caitlin Clark. This is not another Caitlin Clark highlight reel. This is a WNBA crisis.
She also teased Nike seems to be on board. Again, Nike, Christmas time is here. People are buying Christmas gifts right now, Hanukkah presents right now, holiday stuff right now. Caitlin Clark reveals that she's got a PE, a golf shoe PE, on the way. That's big news.
In this video, we are breaking down why WNBA sponsors are walking away from the league, what they are building around Caitlin instead, and how this could become the tipping point that blows up the current WNBA leadership. Because when sponsors decide that Caitlin Clark is a better investment than the WNBA, you do not just have a PR problem, you have a power problem. And if this keeps going, it might be the beginning of the end for the league as we know it. From the moment Caitlin Clark stepped into the WNBA, the numbers went crazy, ratings jumped. Arenas that had been half empty for years suddenly sold out. National networks started leading with Indiana Fever highlights. Clips of Caitlin pulling up from the logo did more views in one night than some teams did in an entire season. WNBA sponsors saw those numbers. They saw that every graph had the same story. One player at the center, Caitlin Clark. At first, everything looked normal. Sponsors signed league-wide deals. Their logos showed up on the court, on the broadcast, on the jerseys. The public message was simple. We support the WNBA. But while the league tried to spread the spotlight around, those same sponsors were watching the data in real time. Social engagement, search trends, jersey sales, ticket resale prices when Caitlin came to town. Every metric screaming the same thing. The WNBA audience is following Caitlin Clark. So the questions started behind closed doors. Executives calling the league office and asking very direct questions. Can we get more Caitlin Clark games on national TV? Can we make sure Caitlin is in our primetime windows? Can we build full campaigns around Caitlin Clark and her WNBA story? And this is where the league made its biggest mistake.
You see her at this event. You see the kind of noise that this is making. You see that this is trending on social media. You see that SportsCenter, Bleacher Report, all of these places, every media outlet is covering this, and you don't say anything. That's what we were talking about this whole season. We were correct. The fans that were saying that the WNBA seems to be trying to quiet the noise of Caitlin Clark, not letting her shine to her full ability, and not, in turn, not helping your own players in the league, we were right. And this event proved it because the LPGA did literally everything correct.
Instead of protecting its golden goose, the WNBA threw her into a meat grinder. Hard fouls, cheap shots, constant drama about whether she is overhyped. More energy spent defending the physical play than guarding the one player who is paying everybody's bills. Fans noticed. Sponsors noticed. Because every time Caitlin Clark got hit with another dirty play in a national WNBA game, social media did not talk about the league's toughness. It talked about the league's insecurity. So, sponsors made a choice. If the WNBA would not treat Caitlin Clark like the centerpiece, they would. We started seeing endorsement deals where the WNBA logo got smaller, while Caitlin's face filled the frame. Commercials that did not even mention the fever, just Caitlin Clark and the product. Cross-sport events where Caitlin was the main attraction and the WNBA was barely a footnote. In other words, money was moving. Quietly, but clearly.
They capitalized on the moment. They found a way to put it on television. They allowed people to be there. Caitlyn was signing autographs. They put their best golfer in the tour, league, whatever it's called. They put her with Caitlyn because they knew that she would get more eyeballs doing it. They propped up all of their golfers in one event. And you would be crazy to think that they're not going to have another event and invite Caitlyn to it. They're going to invite Caitlyn to as many events as they possibly can.
Now picture the scene inside Adam Silver's world as this WNBA sponsor exodus builds. You are in a meeting. The latest report hits the table. One major sponsor says they are restructuring their WNBA agreement. They still want some league presence, but now they want exclusive rights around Caitlyn Clark content and appearances. Another brand announces they are shifting dollars from generic WNBA promos into a Caitlyn Clark focus campaign that will live on social, streaming, and live events. On paper, the league still gets paid. The checks still clear. But everyone in that room understands what is really happening. The value is no longer tied to the WNBA logo. It is tied to Caitlyn Clark herself. And once sponsors figure out they get a higher return by following the star instead of the shield, everything changes. The league is no longer the product. Caitlyn Clark is. That is why insiders are calling this the tipping point. If one sponsor abandons the league for Caitlyn Clark, it is a warning sign. If 3 or 4 follow, it becomes a vote of no confidence in WNBA leadership. Team owners start asking hard questions. Why is our biggest asset taking the hardest hits? Why does every viral moment seem to happen in spite of league strategy instead of because of it? Why are sponsors asking about Caitlyn Clark tours instead of WNBA playoff packages? And fans feel it too. If they start to believe the WNBA resents the same player who made them care in the first place, they will not stay loyal to the league. They will stay loyal to her. Here is the nightmare scenario at full speed. Several core WNBA sponsors abandon the league model and follow Caitlyn Clark directly. Ratings for games without her fall off a cliff. Expansion plans get delayed. Marketing budgets get slashed. Players who fought for more investment are suddenly told the money is gone. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark's brand does not slow down. She does specials, documentaries, global tours, maybe even other sports and crossover events. Wherever Caitlyn goes, the sponsors follow because the audience always shows up. At that point, the question is simple. Can the WNBA survive without Caitlyn Clark? Or has the league itself trained fans and sponsors to care more about the player than the product? Here is the truth that current WNBA leadership does not want to face. You cannot build a modern sports league while fighting the gravity of your own superstar. You cannot cash the checks that Caitlyn Clark's name creates and then pretend she is just another rookie. And you definitely cannot let her get hacked to pieces on national TV while telling her fans to calm down and be patient. The sponsors see it. The fans see it. The algorithm sees it. Every clip, every rating spike, every sold-out building says the same thing. The future of the WNBA is either built around Caitlyn Clark, or it gets built without the WNBA. There is still time to fix this WNBA crisis. The league could choose to fully embrace the Caitlyn Clark era, protect her on the court, put her front and center in every major campaign, use her spotlight to build new stars instead of trying to dim her light. But if they do not move fast, the market will make the decision for them, because money always follows attention. And right now, attention in women's basketball has one name on it: Caitlyn Clark. Do you think WNBA sponsors are right to abandon the league for Caitlyn Clark? Or are they helping destroy the future of women's basketball? Let me know in the comments. If you want to see just how deep this power shift goes, watch the next Caitlyn Clark video that is on your screen right now. And if you are still watching, drop Clark Overleague in the comments so I know you made it to the end.
I'm not sure I've seen a commercial as well received as this Caitlyn Clark State Farm ad in a long time. You know, I actually played it on here before talking about the golf thing, But when you are looking at this commercial and why it was so well received, I think it was the delivery from Caitlin Clark, but then I also think there was a line in there that really hit people hard.
Caitlin Clark's new commercial just dropped, and fans are absolutely losing it. This is the kind of Caitlin Clark new commercial that takes over social media, pushes WNBA conversations into the mainstream, and proves again why brands cannot stop calling her. In one short Caitlin Clark Nike commercial, she looks less like a rookie from the Indiana Fever and more like the face of all women's basketball.
And in other Caitlin Clark news, Nike just released a brand new commercial featuring Caitlin Clark and her new Kobe shoe that she released today. And I saw this commercial yesterday on social media. I thought it was so cool. There's a shot when she's in the locker room and she opens her eye and it like turns into what looks like a snake eye, but when you zoom in, it's actually the Kobe logo in her eye. And as you know, Kobe's nickname was the Black Mamba. I just felt like across the board, this commercial was a 10 for 10. And a lot of people have been getting on Nike because they don't feel like they have been promoting Caitlin as much as they should. But I will say we have to give credit where credit is due. I feel like in the past month or so, they have been tweeting about Caitlin more. And then obviously with this shoe release, they made this super sick commercial to promote it.
Right now, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram are flooded with clips of this Caitlin Clark ad, fan reactions, and breakdowns of every frame. People are not just saying it is good. They are saying this might be the best Caitlin Clark commercial yet.
They sold out in less than a minute. If that's any indication of what a Caitlin Clark signature shoe will do, I think Nike better continue to get on it and get ready to launch this brand for Caitlin.
So in this video, we are going to break down why this Nike Super Bowl style commercial has fans going crazy, how it connects to her earlier State Farm commercial, and what it means for the future of Caitlin Clark WNBA marketing. Before this new Caitlin Clark Nike commercial blew up, the brand story started with Caitlin Clark State Farm commercial clips that went viral during her Iowa days. She was the first NCAA athlete to star in a national State Farm ad with Jake from State Farm, and she looked like she had been doing commercials for years.
Caitlin's brand just got a whole lot bigger.
Yeah, you know you've made it big when you're hanging out with Jake from State Farm. The insurance company announced the deal Tuesday morning.
That spot pulled huge engagement, outperformed the average State Farm ad, and quietly told every big brand watching that Caitlin Clark is more than a player. She is a natural on camera. Therefore, bigger brands lined up. Nike, Gatorade, and Wilson Basketball all rushed to be part of the Caitlin Clark brand. But there was also a problem. While Caitlin Clark was rising, a wave of criticism hit Nike women's basketball. The Dear Nike messaging called them out for staying quiet on key issues in women's sports, saying they were not doing enough for girls and women who love the game.
Nike.
Dear Nike.
Dear Nike. Why won't you stand up for me?
Why won't you stand up for me? Why won't you?
Why do you claim to support women and girls? Yet when we need you most,
You remain silent.
Today, males are claiming our identity.
our sports,
Our spaces.
men and boys are stealing opportunities, medals, trophies, and our future.
And it's not fair or just.
In fact, it's often dangerous. Yet you refuse to use your platform to stand up.
You say you're for social justice and progress.
So why do you allow men's rights to come before ours? See, with a big platform,
Comes an even bigger responsibility.
you have a chance to do the right thing, not just do the easy thing.
So we're asking you, Nike.
So we're asking you, Nike,
So we're asking you, Nike.
as the biggest voice in all of sports,
Will you stand up for me? Will you stand up for me?
will you stand up for me? Will you stand up for me? Will you?
The pressure grew, and everyone wanted to know what Nike would do next. Their answer is this new Caitlin Clark Nike commercial that has fans going crazy. In this latest spot, Caitlin Clark shares the screen with stars like Aja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Sha'Carri Richardson, and other elite athletes. The ad leans into a powerful message. You will be told you cannot do it, so do it anyway. You will be told you cannot win, so win.
You can't take credit. You can't speak up. You can't be so ambitious. You can't break records. You can't have any fun. You can't make demands. You can't keep score. You can't stand out. Whatever you do, you can't win. also win.
The soundtrack, the narration, and the editing give it a high energy, Super Bowl commercial feel, even if you are just watching it on your phone. It plays like a love letter to women's basketball, track and field, and every girl who has ever been doubted. The numbers behind this Caitlin Clark Nike ad are crazy. Tens of millions of views in a very short time, huge positive sentiment, and a flood of fan edits and reaction videos across YouTube and TikTok. Research firms rank it in the top tier of Nike Super Bowl commercials for social impact and emotional punch. For a player this early in her WNBA career, that is almost unheard of. But here is what makes Caitlin Clark different. It is not only that the ad is successful. Analysts estimate she now drives a massive share of WNBA ticket sales, WNBA jersey sales, and overall Caitlin Clark WNBA ratings. Every time a new Caitlin Clark highlight or Caitlin Clark commercial hits the internet, you see spikes in search traffic, merch sales, and social engagement. So when brands drop a new Caitlin Clark ad, they are not just chasing hype. They are betting on the one player who can actually move the market. This new Caitlin Clark commercial also fits into a bigger marketing ecosystem. Gatorade Caitlin Clark campaigns have sold out bottles and towels. In Days Wilson, Caitlin Clark basketball drops, including her special edition designs, have turned into collector items. The clean Caitlin Clark CC logo that fans first doubted is now something people want on hoodies, hats, and posters. Projections for a future Caitlin Clark signature shoe sit in the hundreds of millions of dollars in potential sales. Therefore, when fans see her in this Nike women's basketball commercial, it feels like all of those deals, all of that hype, and all of those record-breaking nights are being pulled into one official statement. Nike is not just saying this is a good player. They are saying Caitlin Clark is the future of basketball. Fan reaction proves it. Under every upload of the Caitlin Clark Nike commercial on YouTube, you see comments from people who never watched a full WNBA game before. They are saying things like, "I clicked for the ad, and now I am watching Indiana Fever highlights." Or, "This made me buy my first Caitlin Clark jersey." That is the dream result for brands and for the league. At the same time, this ad sends a message to other stars. Players like Angel Reese, Sabrina Ionescu, Aja Wilson, and others all have strong brands and huge followings. But right now, Caitlin Clark is the one headlining this kind of global commercial. And that creates a new standard for what it means to be the face of women's basketball. It is not just about points and assists. It is about how many people stop scrolling when they see your face in a thumbnail. In the end, this new Caitlin Clark commercial connects two worlds. On one side, you have massive companies like Nike, Gatorade, and Wilson pouring serious money into Caitlin Clark advertising campaigns. On the other side, you have young fans, especially girls, who see someone that looks like them dominating the WNBA and headlining major ads. That is why this one, Caitlin Clark Nike ad, feels bigger than a normal commercial. It is another chapter in a story they are emotionally invested in. So that is why Caitlin Clark's new commercial has fans going crazy. It is not just the shots, the soundtrack, or the star power. It is the feeling that we are watching the rise of the first true global superstar of women's basketball. And every ad like this pushes her even further. Which Caitlin Clark commercial has been your favorite so far? And what brand do you want to see her work with next? Nike, Gatorade, Wilson, or maybe something wild like Apple or Netflix? Let me know in the comments. If you love Caitlin Clark WNBA highlights, deep dives on Caitlin Clark Nike commercials, and breakdowns of how she is changing the business of basketball, make sure you watch the next video on your screen. That one goes even deeper into how Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are already rewriting the league. And if you are still watching right now, drop Clark commercial in the comments so I know you are one of the real ones.